Let's talk about buying a home. For most of us, it's one of the biggest, most stressful, and definitely most expensive things we'll ever do. But what if that whole ordeal, from finding the house, to getting the loan, to actually living in it, what if it could all be handled from just one app on your phone? Today, we're going to look at how one company is bidding billions on some huge acquisitions and some seriously cutting-edge AI to build exactly that, a homeownership super app.
But first, let's just get real about the problem. I mean, think about it. The stress, the mountains of paperwork, that parade of different people and companies you have to talk to. You've got the real estate agent, the loan officer, the insurance person, the title company. It's a total mess. How is it that in this day and age, this process is still so fragmented?
And it's not just a headache, it's unbelievably expensive, because the whole thing is a maze of separate services and every single one of them takes a cut. On a pretty typical $400,000 home, you could be looking at $40,000 just in transaction fees. That turns what should be an exciting moment into a financial nightmare.
And this is exactly the problem that Rocket Companies is betting billions of dollars it can solve. Their vision is, frankly, massive, to take this chaotic, complex process and completely transform it into a single, seamless, and much cheaper experience, all run through one single platform.
Their whole strategy really boils down to 3 simple steps. First, they want to help you find the right home. Second, they're going to help you finance it and do it fast with no surprises. And third, and this is really the key to everything, they want you to own the entire journey, building a relationship for life, not just for one transaction.
Now look, this isn't just some idea on a PowerPoint slide. Rocket put its money where its mouth is. They went out and acquired 2 absolute giants in the industry, the real estate search site Redfin and the mortgage servicing behemoth Mr. Cooper. They literally bought the pieces they needed to make this vision a reality.
So here's how it all fits together like a puzzle. You've got Redfin with its, nearly 50 million people using it every month? That's the top of the funnel. That's the find part, bringing in home buyers at an incredible scale. Then you've got Mr. Cooper, one of the biggest mortgage servicers out there, handling the own part. They managed the loan for years, building that long-term relationship with a combined base of almost 10 million clients.
Okay, so you have these 2 massive separate companies. How in the world do you make them work together like a single, well-oiled machine? Well, the answer, and this is Rocket's real secret weapon, is artificial intelligence. AI is the glue, it's the engine that makes this entire system smarter, faster, and way more efficient.
And don't just take my word for it. Rocket's CEO, Varun Krishna, talks about what he calls the agentic era of AI. So you can think of these agents as like specialized AI employees that are built to handle really specific, complex jobs. And in his words, these agents have changed the game for their entire business.
Let me give you a really concrete example. Reviewing a purchase agreement. Before AI, this involved more than 80 manual steps. 80! Data entry, checking things, compliance, it was a slog. Now, their AI agent just handles it, and the whole process is 80% faster, and it's more accurate too.
And the impact of just that one AI agent, it works out to over 150,000 hours of employee time saved every single year. That is a staggering amount of efficiency that can be passed on as savings or used to grow the business.
And it's not just a one-trick pony. They've got another AI agent that helps their team prioritize leads, and that drove a 10% jump in loan conversions. Another one cut a 4-hour underwriting process down to less than 15 minutes for their partners. And get this, they're building these incredibly powerful tools in just a few weeks.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing in theory, right? A huge vision, splashy acquisitions, incredible AI. But here's the billion-dollar question. Is any of this actually translating into real-world results? Is it working?
Well, the proof, as they say, is in the profits. The company's recent Q3 results give us a really clear window into whether this enormous bet is starting to pay off.
First up, revenue. They brought in over $1.7 billion in adjusted revenue. That's a key number for their core business. And not only is that a huge number, it actually beat their own projections, even in a pretty tough housing market.
So what about growth? Well, their net rate lock volume, which is basically how many new loans they have in the pipeline, grew by an amazing 26% from the quarter before. That is a crystal clear sign that they are taking business away from their competitors.
And finally, is it profitable? You bet.
They generated $349 million in adjusted EBITDA, which is a great measure of cash flow. Their profit margin literally jumped from 13% to 20% in a single quarter. You can see those AI efficiencies hitting the bottom line right there.
But look, numbers on a quarterly report, they're just a snapshot in time. The ultimate test of their own the journey for life strategy is whether they can actually keep their customers. In the mortgage business, there's a term for this. It's called the recapture rate, and it's all about getting that same customer to come back to you for their next loan. So the average recapture rate across the entire industry is pretty pathetic, actually. It's only 24%. Most lenders lose almost all of their customers after the first deal. So what's Rocket's rate? An unbelievable 83%. They're keeping their customers at more than 3 times the rate of everybody else. This, right here, is the true engine of their long-term growth.
So, when you put this all together, what does it mean for the future of buying a home? I mean, Rocket isn't just trying to be a better mortgage company. They are fundamentally trying to rewrite the rules for the entire market.
Their big, hairy, audacious goal is to become what they call a category of one. By weaving together search, finance, and servicing so tightly, they're trying to create an experience that's so good and so dominant that they basically don't have any direct competitors. Think about what Amazon did for shopping or what Charles Schwab did for investing. That's the playbook.
And what you end up with is what they call an all-weather business model. When interest rates are high, that giant servicing portfolio just prints stable cash flow. When rates drop, that same portfolio becomes this massive, built-in pipeline for new loans. And running through it all is that AI, constantly driving costs down and boosting their capacity. They've built a machine that's designed to win, no matter what the economy throws at it.
So this all leads us to one final pretty provocative question. Rocket is building this incredibly powerful AI-driven machine to make homeownership easier. But as they build this seamless super app, you have to wonder, are we heading for a future where one single company will control your entire home buying journey, from the very first click to the very last payment?